Hi, I'm Carlos Persena with the Barcelona Soccer Institute, and I'm here with Devin Collins, who's associated with the documentary film El Clásico. He's a student at California State University, Chico, and he's going to talk a little bit about the documentary that he filmed with some other students where they went to Barcelona and they investigated the rivalry between FC Barcelona and Real Madrid. Hey, Devin, how are you doing today?
Great. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing great, man. Thank you again for taking the time. First, I just wanted to let you delve into a little bit of your background. What is your association with Barcelona?
I first visited Barcelona and went to my first Barca game when I was around 10 years old. My mom is of Spanish origin, so we were visiting family, and then since then I've lived there and studied there and played soccer in Barcelona off and on up until I was there last summer. So I'm back and forth quite frequently. And so I graduated from Chico State. We were all students when we started making the film, and then so then we graduated and we all kept working on the film because we had such great material and we didn't just want to let it sit there. We wanted to finish it up and volunteer hundreds of hours to make it go through. But yeah, I grew up playing soccer, football, and I played first time for one of the I would say it's one of Barca's feeder clubs. It's called Club de Futbol Gavà, and Gavà it's spelled Gava, and it's a suburb of Barcelona. And their men's team. So I was on the youth. I was playing infantil, which is I guess like under 12's age, and the club Gavà, their men's club is in the second B, so it goes. So I guess that would be like the third top division in Spain, and it's just a small club. Hasn't really, they occasionally will make it somewhere where they play an important team, but it's tough in Spain. Usually, there's not much money out of the first division, so it's the second A has some money, and then after that, it's most players would probably have a job as well. But then I moved back and I played there before I was getting ready to getting recruited by colleges, and I played for a club in the city of Barcelona, which was called UB Catalonia, and it stands for Unión Barcelonista de Catalunya. And it's just another, they also wear the Blaugrana colors, so it's just another one of the feeder clubs. If there's a great player that comes up, Barca comes along and picks them up. But it was just a great experience playing at that level and having great coaching, and I was happy to be fortunate enough to be involved in it.
That's really
and
great.
Also, yeah.
That's really great. So obviously, because of your interest, it makes sense that you were involved in this project. Can you tell me a little bit about how the seed of this project got started, the documentary film, and also what the main purpose of the film is?
Yeah. So one of our is really random because it was an amazing opportunity. I have this passion for European soccer and especially for Barcelona. I've been a fan since I think I could say 1992 when I had my first, I think it was a Chapi Ferrer jersey, and then went on to Stoichkov and Koeman and so on. But so it's always been a passion of mine, and one of our co-producers, Kathy Groudon, is a friend of my mom, or one of my buddy's moms. I was at some dinner and she heard me talking about soccer, and I randomly got a phone call one day to go into to meet our director Kelly and meet with some of the people involved in the communication design department at Chico State. And I think I was wearing a Barca t-shirt, and I'd just been at the gym and I was about to go to a class, and I randomly walk into this restaurant when there's like 3 or 4 people wearing like formal wear, and I was just like out of place. And they hand me this paper and they explained their interest in and this film topic, and it started talking about Barcelona and Real Madrid and the regional tensions and historical rivalry and Catalan and all these things that I knew all this stuff about, and I was just like ready to jump into it, and it ended up working great. So and then we recruited a bunch of other students, and that have specialties from history to, the editors, which are more the tech guys. We have students from various majors that were involved in it, and we started studying. We started reading about the Spanish Civil War, and we started reading just to gain that knowledge about both of the clubs and the history, and we wanted to be prepared to go over there, so we weren't just a group of American students that were going in like that. So that's kind of.
What did you find? What did you find to be the most interesting or surprising thing about the whole rivalry once you were actually there? I mean, because reading about it is one thing, but then actually experiencing it is another thing.
Well, I would even take a step back before that, and for me it was interesting because I lived in the Barcelona area, and I heard all these things. And so I had a very, very biased view of how everything went down. So I pretty much thought that the only reason Real Madrid had any European championships was because Franco basically handed it to him. And I had all these extremely biased views that I just took as fact because my friends had told me, or my friend's dad had mentioned it. And so by actually taking a step back and I guess I stopped being a hooligan while I worked on this project and started trying to look at things from an educational view. And that's going to take me to your other question I don't think I answered, is what our objective was to give a central, as central as we can, and let these historians and the people that we interview tell the story. But I guess for me the biggest surprising thing was that it's not so black and white like that. And there's so many, it's a really complex issue. Spain is a really interesting country, and I'm constantly surprised. I mean, I guess another surprising thing is the diversity within the fans, how many different types of fans for each of the clubs. I mean, I have some friends that would consider us politically independentista, so the independent party for Catalonia, but then are Real Madrid supporters, and there's always weird things, and just the whole social dynamic of it is really interesting. So for me, that was. But then once I got over there, I guess just hearing from these journalists and historians, hearing their point of views, and I thought that's one of the most valuable things about our film is we have a really diverse voices. We just have all sorts of people that give really valuable information.